Hello, hello. Welcome to Sip and Read.
Welcome, welcome.
Let's sip.
Yes.
And Betty, tell them what are we sipping onto today?
Ooh,
Welcome. Let's say
are-
hello to everybody first.
Yes, hello, and we are so excited. I mean, I told you all yesterday I was gonna be tipsy tonight, so forgive me. I'm drunk already, almost. But yes, but we are excited to be here today. Welcome once to our third edition of Sip and Read. Wow, time just fly by.
It's going.
Yes,
It's moving.
yes. And if you see, we are all in pink, pinky, because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We wanted to show support to our survivors, to everyone who have been affected some kind of way with the breast cancer. Even though if you're men or women, if you have any type of cancer, we want to make sure we give you some thoughts, some love. We wear pink today, so we look good too in our pinks.
Hey, look at us. Pink earrings.
Pink all the way, yes.
Pink all the way. We want to tell everybody, we each have somebody that's affected with cancer, and this is something that's dear to my heart. So let's celebrate these people while they're with us. Let's show them love, encourage them to get the help that they need. Because with cancer now, there's a lot of help out there that that we didn't have before. So now there's a lot of resources. So don't be ashamed if you find out you have cancer. Just early detection.
Yes.
Is the key. So always get checked, talk to your doctor, get your test done, and you can be here with us forever, because I'm going to be here forever.
Yes, oh my God. Yeah, welcome to Sip and Read again.
What are we drinking, Betty?
Ooh,
Tell me, because we have a sponsor.
Yes,
Our first
yes.
sponsor at Sip and
We are
Read.
sipping a wonderful wine from Marie-Cassandre Merisier.
Nice.
And she has a wine, the bottle was right here. The name is Wine of Hope.
Wine of Hope. I believe that's what it is.
Yes,
but
yes.
we're going to get all the information for you in a few minutes, because Marie-Cassandre is one of our biggest sponsors. She's been doing wonderful things in the community, and she's very supportive of what we are doing. So we want to give her a shout out for acknowledging Sip and Read and for wanting to be our first sponsor. And thank you for that. Kudos to that.
Yes, and if you want to order your own bottle to sip with us, go to the link on the Sip and Read page, or on my page, you'll see the link there to order your own bottle from Marie-Cassandre Roche, Madame Roche.
Madame Roche. Yes, she's married, guys. She's no longer Marie-Cassandre. She's Mrs. Marie-Cassandre Roche.
Yes.
Congratulations again. We're going to keep telling you congratulations on your, prenuptial. That's what they call it. The togetherness, the united bunch. So we wish you long life with your new husband. Enjoy each other. So now we're gonna shift gear. Betty, what did you do? It was been a month. I haven't seen you. What have you been up to?
Oh my God, I've been reading. Reading in school.
And cool to read.
Yes. So I've been reading a lot, and I'm working on a new book. So it's,
Do
it's
tell.
been
Is that your
busy.
book?
Mine and somebody else. So
Girl. Congratulations.
Thank you,
That's
thank
good
you, thank
stuff.
you. So, but I'm happy to be here tonight. We have an excellent author tonight. Our guest going to be wonderful, and we have two,
Ooh.
not one. Our first
So
time.
we have to stop talking, right, Betty?
Yes,
Because we don't have that much time.
Yes, we have two guests tonight, and the first one I can't wait to really welcome him. So let's get ready to.
do
present
that.
the authors.
But before we do that, guys, share the live.
Yes.
Call a friend. Like the live, because we want to make sure that you guys take a break, get your wine. This one smells delicious. Get your wine, get your glass, sit down, enjoy with us. We're going to come right back before we introduce your author. But before we go take a break, look at the book.
It's right there.
It's right there. Go to Amazon, read the back of the book. Get yourself a little bit familiar with what's about to happen, because this book, it's a mind-blowing
Yes.
book. So you want to have this in your collection, because the author did an excellent job with the way that he described us as human beings. And I was delighted to read this book. It was a very, very powerful read. So before we go, it's on the screen. Check out the name. I know you don't have time to read it yet, but go read the back of the book for a minute. So if you have any questions, you can ask us any questions that you want. So Betty,
Let's take a break, and we will be right back with the author, the first author for the day.
Do you want to tell them his name before we go?
Oh, wow, his name. Wow. When we come back.
When we come back? All right, guys. She doesn't want to give you guys a pool. Li ba non ti pool. So, na pou tourner avant. Et puis...
We are excited to present to you, to welcome this wonderful author. Oh my God. His name is Mr. Samuel Abraham.
Yeah.
Woo! Let's welcome.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
welcome,
Thank you. Wow.
welcome.
Let me say it's a pleasure to be here with you guys. You know,
Yes.
beautiful, two
Let's come
beautiful
have the
ladies,
party.
Doctor.
Look, I'm getting drunk. I got 2
Don't get
glasses.
drunk.
Can you put this in the toys about
Oh
us?
man, this is exciting, man. I'm very pleased to be here with Dr. Betty and Dr. Lucera. So, thank you for the doctors, right? Thank you for the invite. So, let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Cool. Well, we can't just get into it. We're not gonna get into it, but
Okay.
before we go, Betty's gonna go back and tell you what kind of wine that we are having because our sponsor works so hard to make sure that we are here. And I felt like she didn't tell you how to have your wine, when to have your wine, and she is getting ready to tell you. She got the bottle here. Can you guys see it? Look at that.
It's
One
called
Hope.
One Hope wine.
Wow.
And the kind we are drinking tonight is dessert wine, California. So it smells amazing. The taste is delicious. You got to try this one. Go to the link, order your own to sip in with us next time. Very, very important. And thank you so much, Madame Roche, for this wonderful sponsorship. So, back to you,
Back
guys.
to everybody. Back to everybody. Now, Mr. Samuel,
Yes, ma'am.
a little bit about you because
Okay.
I went online.
Yes,
I see so much. Is that
Okay.
really you?
that is me. Yes,
That is
ma'am.
you? Can you share with the audience what is all that about? Who is this guy here that's sitting here with us?
Well, okay, so I'm going to simplify everything. So I was born in Haiti, obviously, and I went to school, Catholic Flon, you know what I'm saying, in Carrefour. So growing up, I lived with my grandmother and my mother, and they installed a lot of good values inside of me. So, and these values are expressed in the book.
I see. Sorry, Betty. I'm gonna because he
Go
was
ahead.
giving a lot of dedication to his friends that he grew up with, to this person, that person. Are you that generous? Because I was like, did you have to say thank you to all of them?
I had to because everyone that crossed my path or I crossed their path played a major role in my life. It helped shape me to make me who I am today. So I live with no regrets. So all my friends, regardless of past experiences, they play a major role in my life, and I love them all.
Awesome. I'm gonna let Betty take a
Yeah,
shot
so
at
I
it.
want to really dive in the book because
Okay.
I was so excited to read this book. It's so unique and different. So I want to first start by asking you about the title because
Sure.
as I was going through the book, I'm like, how do I say this? What is it Chinese? Is it? I can't tell. Is it Ewfow? Or what does that mean?
What is that? You said it.
I
You said it.
Googled.
Ewfow.
I don't know if it's Ewfow, Ewfow. I was going crazy and confused. And I'm like, I need to ask you first, how do you pronounce the title? What does it mean?
Sure. It's
Okay.
Ewfow.
Ewfow,
Yeah.
okay.
EWFOW. So it stands for Eradicate Wickedness from Our World.
Oh.
It's a heavy
an
title.
acronym.
Wait.
It's an
It's like
acronym,
a-
so it's not a word.
Because the audience gotta capture this.
Sure,
You gotta say it a little bit slowly.
So it's an
Tell
acronym.
them. Look,
It is.
I'm
Okay,
having
so
the
each
book up.
letter means something.
Yes.
Say
It's actually at the bottom of
slowly
the
for them.
title, yeah. So the title is EWFOW, Eradicate Wickedness from Our World. So
Wow.
that's the title of the book.
Thank you.
It's a
Well,
little
I was
heavy,
going
but-
crazy for him. I'm like, okay, well, how do I even say this title? But
So,
thank you.
No problem. No problem.
So why did you come up with that title? Why is it not a regular title like like in the other books? So why is it? It's an acronym.
Well, to be honest with you, so there's so much going on in our world today, and it is what it is. But the truth is, you have our world is being, destroyed by leadership.
Now you're
Who's
going,
like-
you're going a little bit deeper.
Okay.
Hold on, because Betty took you right in. Now, I mean, can you tell the audience who you are? Are you married? Do you have any kids? Because we're gonna read a
Okay.
paragraph,
Okay.
just a little bit snip of who is Samuel.
Sure. Sure. So I am a son, a father, an uncle, a brother, a friend. You know. So I've been in the U.S. for about, wow, 30 plus years. I don't want to give my age, so
No, that's
but I've
fine.
been here for over 30 years,
Yes.
30 plus years. So, gonna tell you a little story. You know, actually, before I tell the story, I'd like to say one thing real quick. I'd like to apologize to um, our mother, Haiti, and also our brothers and sisters in Haiti who are actually catching hell right now. You know, their situation is dire, and part of the diaspora, unfortunately, we are the people supposed to go back to the homeland and build the government that we want. And unfortunately, myself failed to do that. You know what I mean? So the next generation of Haitians coming here, they must not forget the homeland.
Thank
They're
you for
supposed
that.
to, they're supposed to always changer côté au sorti.
Yes.
And remember, the country we want to see, c'est nous-mêmes qui pour créer, you know? So, and if we don't go back to create it, the truth of the matter is, other people is not going to create it for us, you know? So,
And by you saying that, you said it in the book.
it is
You
in the
just-
book.
The
It'll-
same
yeah,
thing you just said here, it's mentioned in the book.
Yes.
We are our own creator,
Of course.
and no one is going to create our life for us. So now let's go back into your book. Because
Okay.
the reason I'm going back and forth, because the book is part of a lifestyle. It's us. It's everything
is.
that we are doing. And you took us from the Bible to
Yeah.
our way of lives. So it's all over the place. So that's why we're doing this. As if you guys feel confused, it's because the book is all over the place with the way our lives is. He started from the beginning to today and so on. So I'm gonna let him tell you what is his favorite part of the book, and then Betty and I is gonna read because we only have a few minutes. So we don't want you guys not to get anything from the book. So go ahead, tell us what's your favorite part of the book, why you wrote that book, and then we're gonna each read our best paragraphs.
Sure, for sure. So my favorite part of the book, I have so many, but I like the fact that obviously the Father of creation, give me certain intuition or certain information to put in this book. One of them is how, as a society, we are not enemies, regardless of our skin color. Believe it or not, it's not the fact that melanated people don't like, other people, or other people don't like melanated people. So what it is the spiritual realm play a major role on how we deal with one another. You understand? So if someone is not in a good spirit, what's going to happen is they are going to mistreat their brethren and sisters.
Yes.
So our enemy is really, it's not us, because we're fighting a spiritual war. So the best part is the fact that we need to understand that, and I put that in the book so that we could be conscious of it, so that when we're dealing with our brethren and sisters, we make sure that we don't mistreat them, with any kind of atrocities or any calamities, because just believe it or not, so the person who's doing that to you wouldn't want you to do it to them.
That's true.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
And the
very
Father
true.
of creation gives us the law that we must abide by. That's which is the second greatest of the law, which is we must treat others the way we want to be treated. If humanity could understand and come together and realize the simple fact, the world will change tomorrow, just like that.
Wow. So that's your favorite part.
That's my
See,
favorite
I read this so much. I'm not even gonna open it, but I'm gonna open it just to say
Sure.
something, because there was a part of the book
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you said,
Uh-huh.
the higher power gave us the opportunity to create.
Hmm.
We just chose to create weapons.
Right.
We chose to create all the bad things
Right.
to each other.
Right.
Because we don't want to look at, like, we don't want to be with the eye of our creator. It's like we're the only species that he gave that
That's right.
opportunity, because that's what you said in the book. However, we don't use it to our advantage to do a lot of goodness.
Right.
Why do you feel that that's what we chose? Like, did you do any research to realize that, or it's just based on you reading the Bible, you realize that's what it is? Like, tell me, how were you able? Where did you get the time to kind of look at it in
Yeah.
that perspective?
Good question. So I read a lot. You know what I'm saying? I read a lot of deep books. So anyone who wants to go from I would say from a low frequency operation and to a higher frequency operation, they must read. They must read spiritual books, right? So to answer your question is, the Creator He creates us in His image, because He's the Father of creation. So He creates everything. So because we are made in His image, so we have some of His attributes, so we can create ourselves. The problem is because I would say most people, some people, especially those, unfortunately, I'm sorry, leaders, but it's the truth. So those who are leading us are creating confusion, death, and atrocities, and they're thinking they're good because they don't understand the basic understanding of what's good and what is evil. And one thing I'll put in the book is that our adversaries, which is it's not human beings, we're not in conflict with one another. That's also in my book, is our adversaries. It was kind of like spiritually they're tormenting us, right? So that's the reason we have so much atrocities in the world. So what happened is when we're not in the spirit of the Most High God, and we're allowing these external forces to enter our realm or ourselves, and all of a sudden your vision is blurred. You're confused. So you may think something is good because of your egoist agenda, right? And it's actually harming somebody else, right? So stealing someone's property or resources or possession through any means. Either it could be through deception, it could be through weaponry, act of violence, right? But regardless of which tool you use to usurp or take someone's possession, that doesn't mean it's right, because you would not, again, it goes back to the second greatest of the law: treat others the way you want to be treated. You wouldn't want somebody to do it to you, so why you do it to somebody else?
Well, thank you, but because we're in Sip and Read, we have to read. We have
Sure.
to read a chapter.
Sure.
Because we don't want the people to say, hey, we're not reading. What is this? We're reading.
So-
Guys, share the live while Betty is looking for her favorite part.
I have it.
You have it?
Yes, it was so interesting. And this book has so many unique concepts. The words that you chose to use, they were absolutely out of this world. So I had, we're on chapter 12.
Chapter 12? Okay.
It says assessing the world effectively. On page 105, you said, we are children of the Most High God.
Uh-huh.
He gives us a divine manual filled with instruction for our lives.
Uh-huh.
So what are you referring to?
That's great. Wow. That's that's another favorite part of mine. So our manual is the Holy Bible.
Oh.
Yeah. So and what happened is, as a society, we've gone away from that. You know what I'm saying? We've gone away
before
from.
you answer that question,
Okay.
are you a pastor?
No.
Okay, all right. Just it went to my mind. Go ahead.
I'm just a servant of the Most High. You know what I mean? So so our manual has all the instructions we need. And there's a lot of confusion. People because we're the new age, believe it or not, we're all in the new age. I also talk about the new age that we're in. We're in an age of love, truth, righteousness, and justice. This is the age we're in. Let me repeat it again. So we're in the age of love, truth, righteousness, and justice.
Look at the camera and tell them.
Where's the
And then
camera?
say it.
Over there?
Yeah, say it. We
Hey,
are.
Mr. Leaders,
Yes.
we are in the age of love, truth, righteousness, and justice. And most of you know that. I don't need to go any further because you already know the age that we're in. So a lot of stuff that's taking place in the world is divine. So in other words, there's no stopping it. The solution to stop it, believe it or not, is to have our leaders. Some of them must step aside. Believe it, I'm sorry, but some of them must step aside and allow what I call the ninth ether being to rule this world. And it's gonna be hard for them to make that decision. Unfortunately, for humanity to refine and grow and be better, some of these people must resign from their position and allow the righteous people of the Most High God to rule. Because I'll tell you, listen.
Only on sip and read.
Let me tell
That's why you gotta read, people.
let me say this.
Only wait. Only on sip and read.
Yes.
The righteousness people
Right.
Needs to
needs
take over.
to take over.
That's right.
So how many of you?
Wow.
How many righteousness people out there? Hey,
Believe it or not, and I'll talk about also. We don't be afraid to claim your righteousness.
all right. See, I'm
Don't be.
sipping,
Let me say it
but
again.
I'm-
Don't
but
be
I'm
afraid.
claiming my
Don't be
righteousness.
afraid to claim your righteousness. If you're not abusing other people, you treat people the way you want to be treated. You're righteous.
Hey,
You're full of love.
Hello.
guys,
You gotta listen. You gotta claim it.
he's
Yeah.
talking.
Preach.
I'm on my righteousness.
That's right. Listen, I have no problem claiming my righteousness, and I
Awesome.
claim it everywhere I go.
Nice.
You know what it does?
Oh, yes.
It keeps me a line.
Line.
Because if I'm going out there, sorry ladies, if I'm going out there claiming that I'm righteous, I must behave. You know what I'm saying? So you got it. Take it from my
Yes.
mouth.
Because we're a mirror
That's right.
of our representation.
That's right.
So if I'm treating you bad, you're gonna be treating
That's
me
right.
bad. So if I'm getting nothing but love, that means I'm pouring love.
That's right.
That's all it is. Life
this-
is do unto you what you would want to do.
Second greatest of the law.
That's
The
it.
Most High God gives us.
That's
The
it.
second greatest
The second
of the law.
greatest.
Now, before you read your favorite part, I have
Yeah.
a question.
Sure.
So, on the cover of the book, there is a beautiful, handsome boy. Is it your son? Who is that boy?
Does it look like me? That's me.
I don't know.
I was
I'm
7.
asking.
Listen.
It's a question.
No, that's me.
Who is
I was
this?
7
and
years
why
old.
is on the
Oh,
cover?
wow.
Oh, that's you.
That's me. Yeah, I was 7 years old when I took.
Interesting.
There's a story behind this picture actually.
Nice.
I was 7 years old. Ever since I was a little boy, I've always felt like the world could be. There's something wrong with this world. When I was learning that the earth. Listen, again, I'm not, attacking anyone to think or believe that the world is a sphere or is round. But the truth of the matter is the earth is flat.
Oh, wow. At 7.
You understand? So at 7,
Wow.
so I was learning the earth is round like a ball, like an orange. I remember the lessons like la terre est ronde,
Yes.
comme une boule,
Comme une
comme
boule.
une orange,
Comme une
right?
boule.
Yes.
So I was like,
remember.
and in the class, I was the only one who stood up and said, "Professeur, c'est pas vrai."
Oh,
Because
wow.
la terre, and at Catherine Flon, so if you go against what you're being
No, yeah.
taught, they got rigouage. You guys know what
yes,
rigouage was,
yes.
right? So they
Yeah.
would strike you with the rigouage.
Règle.
No, they at Catherine Flon, they had rigouage only.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
So I wasn't afraid of getting the rigouage. So I told them that's not true, and then I got a beating. And then I think that weekend, this was Friday morning. So that Saturday, I had to take pictures for my dad. And this thing bothered me so much. When I went to take pictures, it happened to be this way. And
Wow.
and have you seen how the Most High God works? It was for a purpose, for a reason.
Wow.
And now that picture made it into my book.
Wow.
And one more thing. Let me say, there's a gentleman. Let me tell you. So just so you know who I am, really, just give you a little idea. In Cotton Flon, I had a little friend of mine. He was Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? Like super. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, in Haiti. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
I know, but I'm like,
Yeah. So I remember him. Sometimes he wouldn't do his homework properly, so he would get a beating. I offered to take his beating for him twice.
Wow.
With the rigouage.
oh wow.
His name was
So
Walsh.
that's your righteousness.
No, no, I wouldn't say.
Yeah,
No, I
that's
don't
right.
think so. You can. It was more like I felt bad for him, because before the professor even struck him, Monsieur turned red. He turned like rouge, and I'm like, I felt so bad. I'm like, he can't take this beating with this rigouage, professor. Can I take it for him? The first time the professor said no. The second time the professor warned me, next time you say it again, I'm gonna let you take it. And the professor, the second time, the kid couldn't take it. So I offered, and the professor said, come on, double.
Wow.
And then he actually struck me about like 4 coups rigouage, you know what I'm saying, for this
Wow.
kid. This kid is Walsh.
Keep looking at the
Mr.
camera,
Walsh,
guys, because
if
we're
you
talking
out
to
there,
our
man,
audience, if you're
Mr.
not,
Walsh,
you
if
know.
you out there, Samuel Abraham from Catherine Flon. I would love to hear from you, man.
Wow.
Because I took some beating for you, but
We would love to keep Michelle while I'm here. We would love it. But,
Yes.
you know, we have two guests.
Yes, yes.
Everything that we having fun must come to an end.
Yes.
Betty got to pay for more air so we can have it for an hour and a half, guys.
More sponsors need to come through with more sponsors. That's right. But thank you so much. We are
thank you,
happy
ladies.
to have you.
Thank you
So-
for having me. It was a pleasure.
Yes, definitely. So we're going to take a quick break and we will come back with the other guests.
Thank you. We are back.
Yes.
What is our slogan, Betty?
Reading is
cool.
And it's cool too.
Read.
Awesome,
Can we
yes.
get some energy in here? I don't feel the energy, Betty.
Oh, let's share the live. You should share the That's how we get the energy.
Reading is cool and it's cool to read. Are you guys reading out there? Are you guys sharing the live?
Better read.
Please, let's go. Because we have, the topic is going to change. We went from Pastor Samuel Abraham. Now we're going to talk about something that's dear to my heart, right?
Oh,
Because, you
Lord.
know, Betty is a married woman. I'm a single woman.
Oh, what a commercial.
And Betty, the book that we're bringing in here, it's something that's phenomenal.
Very interesting.
And we talked about domestic violence. And now this book, although it's not about domestic violence, but it has some trait of domestic violence to it. Because
Yes.
this month is what? Domestic Violence Month, Cancer Awareness Month. So this book is fitted for this month. And we have the one and only
Eunice to present it.
L.
Louis, yes, Eunice, come on down. Come on.
Hey y'all.
Hey girl, it's girly here.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Eunice PL. As the ladies were saying, it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, so of course Dying For I Do is perfect for that month because as you all know, a ring is not worth a headstone. Like, let's not do
Lordy.
that.
Let's take a sip and
Yes.
read. Get your favorite drink. We got Eunice PL with
Alcohol.
us. Before Eunice PL start, you know, Betty, tell us about this book. What did you learn about this
Oh
book?
my
Because we have the
God.
author here.
Dying for I do. I've
Let's hear it.
learned a lot that really a ring is not worth your life, pretty much. So if you have to die just to keep your I do, please don't. So that's basically the lesson that I've learned from this book.
Yes.
Powerful, short but powerful.
Sweet.
Sweet and short.
And what
Straight
this
to the
book
point.
what this book did for me is to my righteousness, right? Because that was the first one. It made me accept myself in the position I am today, right?
Wow.
Because a lot of us, we feel like if we're not married, especially being Haitian, we are lacking in a way we're missing something, or something is broken with us, that's why we're not married. But with this book, it made me say, girl, keep living your best life. So I'm going to let Miss Eunice PL talk a little bit about herself and why she decided to write this book. And we're going to read a few paragraphs, and then we're going to take it from there. Go ahead. Welcome, Miss Eunice, again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, ladies. So like I said, it's your girl, Eunice PL. You know, you can find me at the Eunice PL on all social media platforms. You can buy the book at dyingforido.com. The book is just what it says, Dying for I Do. It's not necessary to die for a ring. We're always going to have episodes of Snapped, Fatal Attraction, all of that. There's no shame in leaving. When I wrote the book, personally, you can't beat me up. You're not going to shame me. So being that I am Haitian and I know what the culture is like, I'm willing to be the person to come out and defend us. I'm willing to be the person that people are like, why did you leave? Because he wasn't worth it.
Wow.
Why didn't you stay? Because it's not that serious. And if you feel like you're uncomfortable or you're not sure if you're in a domestic violence situation or you think you can save them, pick up a copy of the book. I promise. You can't change people. You can't make adults change how their behavior is. It's like teaching an old dog new tricks. You just can't do it. So this book kind of gives you an outline of seeing yourself in the situation, because when you're in it, you don't see it. So you can look at me be in the situation and go, oh, that happened to me. And hopefully that does help you get out of the situation.
Powerful.
Were you an author before this book, or this is something because it happened to you and you decided you want to share it to us out here?
So I have written before. I do ghostwrite. I am available to host your events. Your girl is available as an MC, and I did modeling and some other stuff before. But after this happened, I didn't talk about it. So, okay, quick story for everybody. Story time. Hey. I had a wedding. It went viral. It was so cool. I didn't actually get married. As I was walking down the aisle, I realized this ain't gonna work. Like, I'm not gonna live to see it.
The audience wants to know what's going on.
That's
you
the whole.
Had a wedding.
We had a wedding. It was beautiful. I looked great, just so you know. I looked amazing. But we didn't sign any paperwork. It wasn't official. I knew I didn't want to do it. When you read the book, I go into why I went through with it. Everything was paid at that point. Like, let's have a party. Why not? And my mom, Haitian mom, the whole nine. So I was like, oh my God, you guys, we're getting married. I knew I didn't want to be in that situation. He didn't know it yet, but it's okay because God showed him. So I did do the whole walk down the aisle. You can randomly find my picture online in a white dress, baby. I promise you. The internet ain't what it looked like. It was not a happy situation. Wow. But I did all the stuff, and then shortly after, I tried to break up. It took him 9 months to finally be like, I'm going to leave you alone. And then I found out he stalked me for another 3 years.
Wow.
Very, very cool. Not really, but it was very hard. You know, people saw the wedding. They saw the pictures. They saw the engagement ring. I just didn't post about it online. People were like, how's your husband? And I'd be like,
yeah.
You know, life is good. And they'd be like, oh, girl, were you having babies? Well, no. What are you talking about? But then when I would talk to people in person and I would tell them my story, a lot of times I'd have people go, my sister is going through this. Can you talk to her? My cousin went through this. Can you talk to her? My daughter is experiencing this. Can you talk to her? And then I would talk to them and they'd be like, I thought it was just me. I thought I was the only one. I didn't know it was like this. So I wrote the book so other people would know it's not just you. You're not wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. Choose yourself. Every time, choose you. Leave.
Okay, I'm a bit confused.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. So you had a wedding, but the wedding was for parties only. Mm-hmm. So did you know this guy?
Yeah, I knew him since middle school. I had my wedding at 30. I had known this man half my life. Like, it was, so one of the things I do now is I do mindset coaching and confidence coaching, which you can catch that at the website too, dyingforido.com. Book a session. One of the things is a lot of times we don't realize that abusers have a pattern. Social media is really good for exposing that now, but there's a play-by-play. There's a way that it goes. They isolate you from your family. They start nitpicking at you. They start nagging you. They start trying to make you feel like you're the problem. And they don't start, like, nobody comes on the first date and slaps you in the face. Nobody comes on the first date and starts calling you names. They're great in the beginning, and then they slip and they do something, and you tell yourself, oh, he was just mad today. He had a bad day at work. It's
So
okay.
we
I'm
make
just gonna.
excuse
You make
for-
excuses because you're like, oh, it's just today. We've had 2 years that were good years. Today's the first bad year. We've had 9 months that were great. Today's a bad day, and then over time you have more bad days than good days. But you want to go back to the good days, so you keep trying to change it back to the good days. You can't change another person's behavior. So we stay because we want it to go back to what it was, but you have to realize you can't change them, and it's always going to get worse. It's always going to escalate. A lot of times we see on the news, fiance shoots, girlfriend or fiance got shot or wife shot, and we're always like, oh my God, how did that happen? That's not the first time that violence was exhibited. They didn't just wake up that morning and say, I'm going to go from being wonderful and, shoot you or fight you in public or punch you or yell at you or scream at you. The issue is when you're in it, you don't see it because you want to go back to the good times.
Wow. Betty, any questions? Because
I do.
still
I mean,
sitting.
in fact, I was going to bring up chapter 10, the wedding. When I read that chapter, you mentioned...
Wasn't it fun?
Yes, it's a short but interesting chapter. I was going to ask you to describe that situation for us, but you just give us an idea, like an overview of that. Can you go deeper?
Sure.
Because you have definitely described that on chapter
So,
10.
there are better details in the book, of course, but story time.
The wedding.
Some people in my family a lot of people were aware that I didn't want to do it. That didn't matter to everyone, but like my siblings, ride or die, love them, 10 out of 10, recommend. And they were just like, whatever you doing, we doing. Whatever you on, I'm on. What we doing today? But everything was paid, so we walked down the aisle, we said the thing. I'd already called the wedding planner. I said, hey girl, I'm not staying with this man. What can I do? And she said, hey, if you don't file the paperwork, you're not married.
Oh.
If the paperwork is not filed, you're not married.
Guys, did you hear
and
that?
I said, oh, we're going to rip the paperwork. It's good. We're going to lose
But
it.
did
It's
he know
fine.
that?
He didn't know that.
Oh.
I knew that.
Nice.
But you said, I'm going to the page 29, where you say, I did not put up with all his hiccup just for him to change his mind.
Yeah, so
What do you mean?
right before the wedding. So our wedding was on Saturday, which if you're getting married, get married on Sunday. It's cheaper everywhere. I don't know who I was trying to impress, girl, because them people did not care. But we had our wedding on Saturday night, and he was supposed to. I was living out of state at the time. We got married in Atlanta. He was supposed to be there on Wednesday. He got mad, had a whole attitude, blew up on Wednesday. Did not get there till Friday. And I always say God loves me because we were supposed to go to get the marriage certificate on Thursday. And because he came on Friday, we had to go get it on Friday, but we had the wedding rehearsal and we literally got done at 3:40 or 3:50, and then the courthouse closed at 4. And I was like, man, we're not going to have the paperwork. I'm so sad.
Wow.
And he was like, we'll get it next week. I was like, yeah. We're going to get it next week. We never got the paperwork. It was never official.
No.
Because God loves me.
I'm happy to hear that. Now, Eunice, did he used to beat you up? What went on? We went straight to the wedding. I want to, from the beginning, what happened? Like, give me, what made it?
I'm so happy you asked that question.
Because on your book you mentioned the first red flags, more red flags.
We don't want to tell them the book.
So I'm so happy you asked that. So actually, another reason I wrote the book is because he never put his hands on me. And I didn't think, I was one of those people who differentiated. Well, he's not beating me. I mean, look at me. You ain't going to beat me up. What we gonna do? He was getting to that point. Ooh. Violence escalates. And I think in our community, the African American community, the Haitian American community, Haitian community, we always want to differentiate. Oh, but he didn't beat you. Oh, but he did. I said fire suye. You're not being sensitive. You're not being dramatic. The person you're with, it's okay to expect respect. That's okay to expect respect. And when I was telling people why I left, a lot of people were going, "Oh, it's not that bad. It's not like he beat you. It's not that bad." And I kept wondering.
It's almost as if because he didn't beat you, you were supposed to stay.
Yes. Okay. And my thing is, he didn't beat me yet. And like you were saying in the book, I say the red flags, first red flag. It does escalate.
More flags.
After I got out of the situation, I did go through lots of therapy. Therapy works. Please talk to someone. Trained professionals like your girl. I'm not a therapist, but I'm a life coach. Speak to somebody. But having a professional, having somebody who can talk to you from the outside helps you see more of it, and it was escalating. So I could have stayed and said, well, he never actually hit me. But that's how you get people who are in the hospital and go, well, yeah, he broke my jaw, but he didn't kill me. Maybe we don't need to get that far.
That's a good.
You just got to talk to me crazy one time. Now, because at the time, he talked to me crazy twice.
Wow.
But you don't have to get that far. So again, read the book. I know we don't have that much time, but I do want you guys to know, if you're in a situation where you feel like it is unsafe, make the decision to leave. Make a plan and don't tell anybody. Do not tell your partner that you want to leave them. The most dangerous time for a woman in a domestic violence situation is when she says she is leaving. Do not leave. Men can also be in domestic violence situations. If you want out, decide, make a plan, and leave.
I want to say something with that. So I know that most women, since we are like teenagers, our dream is to see the Prince Charmant, son cheval blanc. We have our dress to walking down the aisle. But you had that opportunity and you walked away. Any shame on doing that? I mean, no, haïtien, tu peux remarier, soit accomplissement. It's like you get a doctorate degree when you get married. It's like something your parents are proud, your community is proud of you, everybody, your friends are proud. So, son moment qui vraiment qui est important. But quand you walked away, est-ce qu'on pas want prendre décision ça qui impacte gain? Est-ce qu'on monte wow après ça? I want to hear.
So for the first year, like I said, I didn't talk about it. The anniversary came up, and you know how Facebook goes. This year, memory, I would deactivate my Facebook the day before, and then I would reactivate it the next day, and people never saw the memory pop up and never tagged anybody. The first year, I was embarrassed. But for what? You don't pay my bills. You don't do nothing for me. It's my life to live. If I died in that situation, they were going to make a Lifetime movie. They were going to butcher my name. They was going to be like, the Eunice Perry story. That's not it. The life that I have to live is the life God gave me. Everybody has the life God gave them. You can't live it for other people. So yes, there was shame, but that's, again, why I wrote the book. The first 2 years, I did not talk about it. It took me 5 years to even write the book because I was like, oh, well, it's just the one situation. I'm not ashamed. I didn't do anything. I wasn't the reason that he did the things he did or he treated me like he did. I don't have a problem with men. Not everybody's great. Not all women are great. Not all men are great. Your person is going to treat you great. You don't have to settle. And in the beginning, you were saying, he was great. I knew this man since I was 14. We lived separate states. He would send flowers. He would send lunch. He'd be like, oh, fly out to see me. Like, it was awesome. But once the closer we got to the wedding, the more it was like a tightening of like ownership, like possession. I couldn't go out by myself. He could go to the gym by himself, but I couldn't go to the gym by myself. He could go to work, but I couldn't go to work because why you got to stay late? Who you at work with? Very insecure. But it's, again, like, in our culture, like you said, it's like, oh, but you're getting married. And it was like, oh, well, we've made it this long. It was almost a 2-year relationship. We've made it this long. What's a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months? But the thing is, the more time goes, the more comfortable they are escalating the behavior. So in the beginning, it was arguing at the house and being disrespectful. Towards the end, this man got in my face at the job. This man got in my face at my job, at a very public place. I was managing a hotel. I had people in there.
This is so good. We're just sitting there. Sorry, Eunice. Nobody's
good.
sipping.
I'm sorry.
We're just like, what? Give her a little break so she can.
It's very good, too. Thank you, Maya Kasan. Very good.
Yeah, very good.
Very good.
Mine is good.
As they smell it, swirl it.
So,
I may be on my second glass. Don't tell anybody.
Now, while you're taking a break, think about this question. Think about it very, very. I'm just concerned a little bit. Like a little girl that's coming up right now listening to you. What advice would you give to a younger version you?
I love this question. I have one tattoo. It's probably the only tattoo I ever do in my life because I am a punk. Wow. That tattoo is LS1. Love self first.
Wow.
I have a child who is 5 years old. She is a girl. It's the only thing I want her to grow up and realize. You love yourself first. When you're on a plane and they tell you, hey, in case of emergency, they tell you, put the mask on yourself first. Then you take care of the children. Then you take care of the elderly. Then you take care of other people. We are raised to take care of everybody else. You cannot pour from an empty cup. There's no way that I can fill you up and give to people and I'm not giving to myself.
Wow.
Sometimes people think that's selfish.
Wait.
It's
Say
not.
it again. Say it. We cannot.
You cannot fill someone else's cup if your cup is empty.
Are you guys listening? We talking. This is Sip and Read, and she wrote a book about her life experience. It's not. We're not doing this because we want to do it. It's because there's so much happening in the community, and it's so taboo. No one is talking about it because guess what? We Haitians and we hold on to the stories because that's what makes us. We're unique. But no, we have a brave young lady that decided to come to the platform today to show you her strength as a woman, to share her story. She knew this person. She trusted this person. And now, this person didn't pan out to be like Betty said, the Prince Charming that she thought she was going to have at the end.
Yeah.
So, love yourself first always, because that's important to you and to the people around you. So, Betty, we're going to read a chapter in the book for the people because, again, Sip and Read. Today, we're not
You want
doing
to
our
read?
job.
I wanted to
I
read
want
the
her
first,
to read.
the
Please.
first part.
Please, because we're not doing good here. We're supposed to be reading. Guys, are you enjoying the show? Type yes or no.
Share the live.
Share it. Let us know,
Share the
please.
live. Share.
Okay. I don't know, y'all. It's not even like it's not a super
too many,
long book.
But one
So,
paragraph.
Very to the point.
all right, I'm just gonna read the first page. So the first page, I start the book kind of like in the middle. I start the book when I realized that it wasn't gonna work. It just wasn't gonna work. All right.
Whoa.
Slam.
Jesus.
The sound of his fist hitting the wall less than 5 inches from my face, coupled with the absolute rage in his eyes, was exactly what I needed to snap out of my walking nightmare. I finally had to admit that I had been trying to hide what I had been trying to hide from. I felt a coldness in the pit of my stomach. There could be no wedding. I knew with abject certainty and dread that if I married this man in 3 weeks, it would not be the fairy tale ending. Saying I do would be the death of me. He was going to kill me. I was certain of this, I was as certain of this as I was my own name. How did I get here? If you'd like to know how I get here, dyingforido.com. Also available at Amazon.com.
Oh, at Sip and Read. We're going to have some
Or at Sip and
signed
Read.
copies.
Yes.
If you want yours, contact us. We'll be
Let us
glad.
know. We'll be happy to get you some
Yes,
copies.
to give you some copies.
And
Wow.
I smile about it a lot and I make jokes, but it's not funny. But the things, like you said, a lot of it in our community is shame. Even when I
Yes.
see like celebrities or people say that somebody got beat, they always, sal fel. There's nothing you can do for a person to beat you. Like, I'm an adult. What you beating me for? Why would you put your hands on an
I'm
adult?
not your child.
I'm not your, and even, that's a
Even
whole
your
nother
child.
thing. Even your child. Don't be
Yeah,
beating on these
yeah,
babies,
yeah, yeah,
please.
yeah.
But even so, as two adults having, like right now, we're having a conversation. I'm not going to turn around and say, I don't like what you said to me. And like, we're not doing that. We are adults. So to say in our community, oh, well, you know, it was the tone. What did she say? What did she do? It don't matter. It don't matter. And if you're with somebody who feels like they can justify putting their hands on you, calling you out your name, disrespecting you, being loud, baby, it's going to get worse. So again, decide to leave, make a plan, and leave. Don't tell
Don't let
nobody.
him know about the plan.
Don't tell anybody.
I do want to ask you a question. So
Mm-hmm.
is it that easy to go from I do to I don't?
It's not easy. I wouldn't say it's easy, but I have a client. I know we're running out of time. I have a client, and she was constantly be like, I just feel like if I do this and if I do that, and she wasn't getting it. No matter what I said to her, no matter what exercises we went through, she was not getting it. And I finally just had to ask her, at your funeral, what do you want me to tell your 2 young children?
Ooh.
And she started crying. And she was like, why would you say that? Maybe it's nothing else I could say to you, but what do you want me to tell these babies when you leave them alone because you wouldn't leave this man alone?
Wow.
It's one or the other. You're going to choose you in your life and take care of your children, or you're going to let him kill you and they'll be alone with the monster. What would you like?
I think we answered this question already, but I'm gonna put it out there. Because you're a life coach, what makes you think women stays in this type of environment? Do you have an idea? What do they say to you? Some of the examples that they give you.
So there's lots of reasons women stay. Some of it is shame. Some of it is accessibility and opportunity. A lot of times, especially in the Haitian community, like a lot of West African communities like this, Haitian community, a lot of Caribbean communities, we don't recognize financial abuse. Financial abuse is where one partner has access to all of the money and the other partner has access to none. If I am in a situation where I leave you, I will be homeless, or you will make sure that I can't eat, or I can't feed my kids, or I can't pay. That is a reason to stay. And people go, oh, well, she could have left. She could have left. And you're like, oh, she got a big house. She stayed for the big house. Baby, she didn't stay for the big house. She stayed for a place for her kids to sleep. She stayed because if she goes outside, somebody might beat her and put her on the street. It's a lot of reasons why people stay. We have to stop asking victims to justify why they stay. You didn't become a victim in 1 minute. You're not going to leave in 1 minute.
True.
It's a process. Like I keep saying, make a plan, activate your plan, and leave. It's not, you're not going to wake up on Tuesday and say, I'm out, and leave. What's love got to do it? Great movie. Awesome movie. We see Tina Turner get out of that vehicle. She runs out the limo. She runs across the street. And then they cut to the divorce. She didn't go to the divorce the next day. We understand that it's a movie. She had to get a room. She had to have money for that room. She had to have somebody vouch for her. She had to eat in between. She had to, can she get back in the house? If she goes back to the house, is he going to beat her? There's steps in between that stuff. And that's why you talk to somebody. That's why you have a therapist. That's why you have a life coach. That's why you have a friend. Somebody that you're going to be like, hey, when I leave, do you have my back? If you're not sure, at the back of the book, I do have numbers. I have national numbers that you can call and say, hey, I need help. And there are people who will help you. You're not by yourself, and you're not wrong for staying. Until you're ready to leave, just know that there's people waiting to help you.
Wow, 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 wow.
Powerful.
Powerful. All right.
Dying for what I do.
Now I'm going to drink more. Lord.
Thanks,
Typically,
garçon.
reading in school is school
It's
to read.
And it's cool to read.
Yes.
It's always, see, when you open a book, you learn a lot more. So please get in the habit of start reading, because there's so much information in there. It's great. It's a great thing to do. So, Betty,
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So Eunice, what's your message to the women out there who think that they are not able to say I don't? They are so in love with I do, and I don't become something like they cannot pronounce. Is there a way, it's a lesson to help them say these words, I don't?
The best thing I can say again to anyone is love yourself first. In anything.
and what's the name of the tattoo again?
LS1, love self first.
There you
That's the message. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're in, you have to choose yourself first. Again, people think it's selfish, but whatever. If you're biblical, if you're religious, the greatest gift that God can give us, has given us, is our life and choice.
That's it.
You have to choose yourself. The gift He gave you is your life.
Life.
You can't live that life for somebody else. If something happens to you today, tomorrow, I say it's somebody give him the me. Somebody give him the me. Somebody give him the mess. That's it. You live for somebody else. What did you do for yourself? What story it lives beyond you? What can people say about you outside of she was the wife of this man?
Wow.
She was the mother of this person. What did you do for yourself?
A lot of women in our community love that title, and they will die for it. So please, guys.
And that's fine. I know people now, to this day, look me in my face. I know the situation bad. They know the situation bad, and they, oh, you know, Sherry, lipa mal. Yeah, lipa mal. I know what that eye is. They know what that eye is, but they sticking by it. That's fine. Congratulations, that's your choice. But for anybody else, if I can help one person, I've had people inbox me, I didn't realize that I could leave. I had people say, girl, I thought it was me. I didn't know that it could happen to anybody. Like, I'm confident. I'm strong. I'm dope. I'm her. I'm her. And it still happened to me. So I don't want anybody to feel like this only happens to one kind of person, or something's wrong with me that he felt like he could do this to me. Or maybe I pull them. The good, the bad, the ugly, okay? They love you, girl. But if it's not for you, you can say no. That's it. It doesn't matter how good he looks on paper, how great it is. That's not the last man that's going to like you. It ain't the last person that's going to think you're great. So you might have I do today. You might have I do next year. You might have I do the year after that.
And you may never have I do.
And you may never have I do, but you have yourself.
You have you.
Yes, you do.
Like,
And you have to love yourself first. like
love
you said.
yourself first.
You come first.
That's it.
Wow, amazing.
Amazing.
So,
Thank you so much for
great
having me,
read.
ladies.
If you need a copy, again, go to dyingforyou.com or you on Amazon.
I am on Amazon. Just search Dying for I Do, Eunice PL.
And if you want to have a signed copy, come here and sip and read. We'll have some signed copies for you ready
Yes.
to go. It's a very good story. You will not regret.
Also, you can
Grab
find
a
me on
copy.
all the social medias at the Eunice PL, THE Eunice PL, and of course, yes, it says Pierre Lewis, but I go by PL because it's so hard. La American, Pierre Lee, Pierre Lou, Pierre what? Pierre Miss Lewis? Is it Miss Perry? So just Eunice PL, and we'll get through it. Thank you. Thank you for having me,
Thank you so
ladies.
much. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back to really wrap up the show. Thank you so much for being here. We
Thank
also
you.
happy.
We enjoyed you here. Thank you
you
for
for
coming.
having me.
Whoa. Did you guys have a good time?
Yes. Oh my God. I was. Whew.
How does this look like under the live? Is everybody commenting? Are they loving it? What's happening, Betty? Today we just so focused into the books. We had a very wonderful two powerful authors that came in here and shared their stories, and
Yes.
I have to say, I love to talk. I couldn't talk a lot today. I was like mesmerized by everything that was happening in the studio today.
It was wonderful. From Pastor Samuel where I am, to Eunice PL. Oh my God.
PL.
Yes.
She don't want. You didn't hear what she said? Pierre Louis.
But I can't say PL. You cannot say
It's
it.
for those. Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna stick with Eunice PL. She did a fantastic job.
Yes.
She made me realize that I am fine by myself. I'm a bad girl. Hey.
When I read this book, I've realized that it's okay to say I don't.
It's okay.
She got close as we can get to a wedding, and she walked away. That was bold, but she did it. So I realized really that you don't have to die for I do. If you're in a happy relationship, congratulations. But if you're not, please
Seek help.
Seek
We're not
help.
telling you to leave. Seek help.
Or she's a life coach, so you can contact her, dyingforyou.com, and on the social media platforms, she's everywhere. So.
I learned a lot from this book. Are we still undying for I do? Because I know I'm not saying I do anytime soon, because I'm like, it has to be the right guy. But now let's go to Pastor Samuel.
Yes, oh my God. Ewfow. I mean, I know that I have to say
I'm not even going to
Ewfow.
try to say it because I'm still not saying the name of the book. But what I loved about the book, it makes you look within yourself.
Yes.
You he had some scriptures, he got some information to support what he was saying in the book. The book, you almost like you feel like you're reading a Bible, but yet it's not a Bible per se, but it's information that can help you with your daily lives.
right? To show, it's like a structure of your life. If you do this, you can be this. If you do that, you can. And that's what I liked about this book. It's just the way that it was. It's written to allow you to take control of your life. And I thought, when I first saw it, I didn't know what it was, but after reading, I'm like, wow, it's a manual to guide you on how to live your life. And that's the only way I can sum this book.
Yeah, but I love the fact that he brings the values that we are losing these days. Like he was saying, this world is really going backward. We are losing the things that were precious before. And now what we are going through is really show us that these values are very much needed in this society, and he brings them all back to life. He really aligns them with biblical concepts for us to see it's not just his theory. They are really have some biblical foundation.
Correct.
I like the way he combined the values and then the Bible and the love and everything else in one big happy family.
Yes.
So I think that he did a great job with this book, and I can't wait for you all to read that book too and share your feedback to him and to us. Because
Correct.
the goal for the Sip and Read is to really read the
Promote.
books, promote the authors, and make sure you take away something positive. So definitely I would encourage you to go to Amazon to grab your copies, Ewfow from Samuel Abraham, and also it's going to be here on Sip and Read. A signed copy, if you want one, you can get your one also. So great books. Great show today. I'm so proud of us.
Hey, we did good. Thank you. Sip and read.
Sip and Read
It's cool to read.
and is
Reading is cool.
reading is cool.
Let's do it over. Let's do it over.